Okay, it looks like we are live. Welcome to the Artcasters. I believe this is number 16, and this is going to be the year-end wrap-up for 2015. We're going to probably keep it a little loose because we're still kind of in holiday mode. But I know I have a few things.
Right now.
What's that?
And I'm wasted right now.
Well, that should make for a good show. I'm trying to get there, so. All right, let's see. I've got a few things I know I wanted to talk about. I do on my, well, first let's introduce ourselves. So I am Scott Serkland with Serkworks Art Labs, and you can find me at serkworks.com or Serkworks on the YouTubes and the interwebs and all that kind of stuff. I have with me, at least from my right, Jeff Lafferty.
Hey everybody.
Where can they find you, Jeff?
JeffLafferty.net, and that's pretty much it. Links go out to everywhere from there.
And we got Kevin.
I'm at kevincross.net, but that is outdated, so maybe find me on YouTube. youtube.com/kevincrossart. And I also started a second YouTube channel yesterday, or the day before.
I saw that. I subscribed to it.
Thank you.
And did you just put up new artwork on your YouTube channel?
No, I just posted like an announcement that was like, "Hey everybody, I started a second channel so I could do a daily vlog."
Oh, okay, because I guess I hadn't seen. It looked like there was like a new channel art that was different from what you had before.
I did.
Yeah.
Which apparently has been a little controversial because I tried to make the art kind of similar on both channels, have overall branding, but there's like slight differences, and I guess some people are saying that's not different enough.
Oh, okay. Well.
The other channel is called Middle Age Punk, if you want to look for that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What's that channel about for people that want to subscribe?
It's basically like what I want to do with my main channel, like the art and comics channel, is make things a bit more evergreen and a bit more focused, I guess, on art and comics. But there's a lot more stuff I'm interested in, you know, and I just become like this year addicted to people who daily vlog, and I kind of missed having a daily vlog, like doing 100 days making comics. Because I felt that there was more like audience interaction, or that kind of thing. So that was fun, and because I guess I'm lonely, so I like to talk to people a lot. And so that one's just gonna be like a free for all, you know. So it's not gonna, there'll still be like the Making Monkey Mod kind of vlog thing on my main channel. But this is going to be like, hey, I got this new record, or hey, I saw this movie, or hey, check out this weird thing I'm doing,
So what was your reasoning for doing a whole nother channel instead of just, keeping it all just Kevin Cross everything?
Well, I thought about it a lot, actually. Like, this is actually like 2 months of me thinking about this stuff, and I flip-flopped for a while, and then finally, what it came down to was I just want my art channel to be focused on that, because I know there's probably a lot of people who aren't going to care what my band is doing, or me going to the skate park, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This way I'm just free to do whatever I want, so I'm not considering it like a main channel, like another main channel. It's just like for fun,
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I know for me it's taking me so long to get any subscribers at all. I wouldn't want to start all over, but yeah, I can see what you're saying. So I mean, that's obviously something we're working towards, things we're getting ready to do for 2016. But let's I guess we should start off and just kind of go through and see what our 2015, our last year, was like. So I've got some stuff sort of prepared. I got some notes and stuff in front of me, which if you guys want, I'll start off. I don't know
Please
how
do.
prepared you are, because I want to get this out of the way so I can start drawing here.
I want to steal
so-
your answers too, so I want you to go first.
All right. So anyway, so one thing that I do, and I'll probably do it again this year, I'm sure, is on my regular website, circworks.com. I put up a little like a recap, and basically what that's for is just so I can go back, just like I am now, look at it, see, because it's live for everyone to see. It'll hold me accountable. It lays out what my goals and everything are for the upcoming year and everything, and then I go back through the last year and I see if I met those goals. And I've been doing this for, I think, online since I launched my site in its current incarnation. It's probably been doing this for like 3 years, and I've been pretty good as far as meeting my goals up until this year. This year was not a great year for me. So, and I'm not sure about Jeff, but I think Kevin's probably in the same kind of boat. But I'll go ahead and I'll kick it off. So I have listed here my main goal for 2015 was it says all things in service to the brand, which means I wanted everything I did to kind of fit into that Serkworks brand, and I started pushing towards that, and I talked about this a little bit on probably this show before. But I don't know how successful I was. But then again, I don't know if that's a bad thing, because one thing that I started doing was this cross promotion with this Miscrits artwork that I've been doing, this creature design videos on my YouTube channel. And it doesn't really tie into Serkworks so much, but so far it's been getting more eyes on my stuff, which is good. I'm glad I did it. But I'm going to be completing that early in the next month in January, and then I'm planning on kind of continuing that, but the same kind of creatures that I'm drawing for that, but more to my own brand, more specific to me, characters that I will create and I'll own and everything like that. And hopefully the people that are interested in the Miscrit stuff will like that. So there's that, and I'm still doing the Fan Art Friday, which these are fan art characters. Again, they don't have anything really to do with me personally. They're not characters that I own, but I do like doing it and everything. So as far as keeping everything branded Serkworks, that didn't really pan out so much as far as the goal that I set out. But I'm not really going to sweat it right now. But what I usually do is, if there's a goal that I don't meet, I roll it over to the next year, and then it's bumped up a little more, even though this was the #1 thing from last year. Second on my list was to grow my YouTube channel, which that one I think I've accomplished. I've been constantly putting out videos, especially when I was doing the 100s, I was putting out videos daily and everything, and then but since then I've been trying to put them up at least 2 or 3 times. I think I'm averaging about 3 videos a week, even now that I started a day job and everything like that. So that's pretty cool. I think around this time last year I may have had 70 subscribers. This is pretty new. Right now I'm like 1,070, which is cool. I just had a big influx of subscribers today, so I busted through 1,000, which for me that's good. So I'm on a roll. I mean, some people, you get people like, oh man, I like this guy's stuff. He should have way more subscribers, but it's not really that easy, at least for me. There may be some people that know how to do it a little better, but I think it just takes time, and it is growing. It's growing, and I think the things that I have planned for this year, I'm hoping that it's gonna grow a lot more, and I'm hesitant to put a number on what I want to see my subscribers at next year, but I might put that out there just to I'm gonna do another blog post, like I said, and kind of lay all this stuff out, and we'll just kind of see what happens. But anyway, so far the YouTube channel, I'm happy with it. It's not like a runaway viral type success, but it is growing, and I am putting more stuff out, and I'm pretty happy with the stuff that I'm putting out. Third on my list was to create more more like Serkworks prints and products and things like that. One of the goals I set that I wanted to create a new print every month, so 12 prints. I didn't meet that at all. And I guess I should go back for any of you guys that don't know. I had some major issues like happen this year. One of them was my hard drive crash and me losing a lot of stuff. I'll know next year. I'll know probably next week if I can retrieve that. I basically asked anyone that was going to give me a gift for Christmas to give me money to go towards that. So found somebody who's going to look into that. So with my fingers crossed, hopefully I'll be able to recover that, and then I won't have to restart what I created for like my comic and everything, because that's one thing that you'll see on my list that I did not finish this year, and I'm bummed about that, but it was kind of like a weird circumstance. So anyway, so I created, I think, 4 or 5, I think 5 new prints out of what I was shooting for, which was 12, so it didn't quite meet that. I said I wanted to create a new trading card set, which I did accomplish that goal, and just other new products, and I came out with a whole new line of it's a new line of like bow ties that I designed that I sell, and I sell these at shows and everything, conventions and everything like that. So I finished those, I got those done. That's something new, and then like I did design some like messenger bags and things like that. So I did get some new products, but I didn't get as many prints done as I wanted to. Another thing on my list was to post daily. Didn't quite meet that. I always have a hard time, and it's going to be harder now that I got a full-time job, just to constantly, be out there online. It's just not natural for me, and this is a constant struggle every year. I say I'm going to try to be more active as far as posting online and everything, but I'm still gonna make that a goal and everything. I've got keep on sketching as far as putting out sketches, and I did pretty good. I did Inktober, so I had a lot of drawings out there. When I first started the year off, I started doing like a daily sketch, I had a little tiny sketchbook, and I went a little while with that, and then that kind of fell off.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, but I do want to do more sketching and everything, and I want more stuff that I can post on Instagram and things like that. So. Anyway, I said I wanted to do more shows as far as conventions. I was only doing like 2 big conventions last year. Did about the same amount, but now I'm starting to rethink conventions. I talked about this before, but I just think the landscape's changed quite a bit. So I might be looking to do other kinds of shows other than just comic conventions and everything. So yeah, look into new avenues to market my Serkworks products. Basically, I just got my online store. I set up an Etsy store, and I don't know exactly how Etsy works, but I went on recently, and like all my stuff was gone, and I think I made one sale on Etsy. So I thought it would let me know, because I know it stays up for so long, but I thought there'd be some sort of an alert telling me. But that's something I've got to learn a little more about, because I think a lot of the stuff that I have could probably do pretty well on Etsy. But and then last on my things I wanted to get done for this year was to complete the comic book, which you guys all know that didn't happen. So hopefully, and I was real close before the hard drive crash. So if I get that back, it's not going to be long before that book is done. And if I don't get it back, then it's going to take a little longer, but that's going to be like my #1 priority. So anyway, that was kind of 2015 for me. So I'll turn it to who wants to go next. You want to go, Kevin?
Huh. Yeah, I mean, coming in 2015, I had, bright eyes and
bushy-tailed.
What is this?
I thought things were going to go a lot different.
I remember that one day when you were in a good mood.
Yeah. And I thought that I thought that I was going to have time to do certain things that I wanted to do. But as it turned out, this job that I'm on, the one I'm working on right now on screen, won't go away. And it's man, it's taken a long time, and there's just been a lot of curveballs thrown and stuff like that. So, um, looks like I have to work on this all through January and now, and that just drives me crazy. But yeah, so I don't, that was my year basically, just working
Yeah.
on this book, and then doing the 100 Days of Comics. I did it 3 times, or did I start? I think I started actually the first one in 2014, maybe. So I did 2 more, and so I actually thought I would have a comic finished as well this year. That was my own, not this one. But that didn't happen. So, what I'm looking forward to is getting this thing done, and then um, putting my plan into place for, not working for clients, hopefully, for as long as possible. And
That is
um,
still quite an accomplishment, though, finishing like a whole graphic novel. I mean, I didn't drop a graphic novel this year.
well, thanks.
All right, go on.
I wish it was my own graphic novel though. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
it's a lot of
possibly
work.
the
But you stuck with it.
yeah, possibly the biggest project I've ever worked on, is this book. Previous to that, the biggest projects were maybe kids' books, and those lasted like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Nothing like 14 months it'll be when this is done, I think. Um, so I'm just looking forward to getting this done for like now for February to show up.
Yeah.
So so I can just work on my comic, do some paintings, um, do more video stuff. I wanted my channel to grow, and it did. Um, but it grew faster when it was new than later, and I think part of that is my fault because I couldn't put out the quality of videos I wanted just because of time.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to being able to do better quality videos and hoping that will make the channel grow and stuff. Um, and then I'm going to do this daily vlog thing, which is going to be, I think, just fun and easy because I'm going to do it like I did 100 Days Making Comics. It's going to be all on my phone, edited on my phone, uploaded from my phone. So,
Cool.
um, and then that one's not always going to be about art and comics. So, you know, who knows? Maybe it'll help my other channel grow and get, because I know there's like vlog fans out there, because
Yeah.
I'm one of them. So, and then I get kind of sometimes if I like somebody's vlog, they might be into something I'm not, but I get kind of interested in it, because it's like foreign to me or something. So, maybe I can grab some extra eyes for my comics or something, and just have fun. Because at this point, I think with my YouTube channel, it's gotten to a point where I feel that the quality needs to go up, you know. Um, and so that might not be true, but that's kind of weighing on me a little bit. So sometimes I'll be like, well, I'm not going to do this video now because I can't do it like I want to, and I kind of want something that's more free, where it's just like, you said you're doing a video, just do a video, don't worry about, just make it. Don't think too hard about it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, before you said you were not putting out videos because you wanted the quality to be better. How does that? I guess it sounds like you were saying two different things. So I was just trying to think what side of the fence you were on.
Well,
Devil's
like I want the
advocate.
overall quality of my main channel and the art and comics channel to get better.
Right.
With audio and video. And some of that I can't because I just don't have the money for the equipment. But
Yeah.
but also editing, you know, um, kind of just to make things a bit more like an actual, like a show you might watch on TV. Although
Yeah.
maybe my video quality is a little worse, or the audio quality is a little worse, you know. Um, so a lot of like more tight editing and stuff. Like I have a video I was gonna do for Christmas, and also another one I was gonna do for New Year's, and they're recorded, and I even like wrote out like kind of not like a tight script, but like a tight outline to go from for the voiceovers and on camera stuff.
Yeah.
And also I have like all these different clips labeled, like this clip goes here, this clip goes there. It's basically kind of storyboarded it in a way,
Yeah.
instead of just hey, I'm going to talk about this pencil today,
Yeah.
and then just go talk about a pencil, for example. I don't know, that's a shitty example, but that's all I can come up with right now. But
No, I know what you mean. Like, 'cause sometimes I'll have parts like clips of what I'm doing, and that I always think of that. When I'm shooting stuff, it's like, okay, this will go here, this will go here. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a rough edit in your head or something.
yeah, it's something that to try to make it like more compelling
Yeah.
than just like here's me drawing and I'm going to speed it up because I only talked for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and I'm going to talk about what's been going on this week or something, like kind of vlog-ish. Instead, if I'm going to do a painting, I want to make it like about the subject matter of the painting, something compelling, Maybe if I do like a Frankenstein painting, which I've done on my channel, maybe I give a little bit of history of like Frankenstein, whereas before I just kind of talked about how I really like the book and the movie, but I didn't really talk about why it's important in history or something. Something like that. Just a little extra.
I think that's cool because I think that's going to give you your crossover appeal too.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. And plus, I think it's just going to be more interesting for me as well.
Yeah.
So.
Because I mean, people will sit there and listen to somebody talk about Frankenstein, but how much cooler is it if the person talking about Frankenstein is also drawing Frankenstein?
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff I could have said, that I should have, like how it's considered, the first science fiction, or things like that.
Right.
Talk a little bit about Mary Shelley and like I mean, people kind of know the story of why she wrote the book, but how it was kind of like a dare almost. But there's a lot more to the story than just she wrote the book on a dare. Things like that. So, that's what I want to do with the main channel. Just make it more, tighter, better edited, more thought out. So, that said, the Monkey Mod, or the Monkey Mod, what do I call it? Making Monkey Mod series. That's going to still probably be pretty loose, because that's kind of like, that'll be the vlog for that channel. And because of this book right now, I don't have time for much of anything, except for like pointing and just shooting from the hip, kind of. And so that was another reason why I was like, well, I'm going to do this vlog channel, because then, like I kind of thought that doing the videos for 100 Days of Making Comics was fairly easy, because I could do it. I have a good internet connection too. I know a lot of people who don't. So sometimes their videos were taking them hours and hours to upload and stuff, and mine doesn't. So I do like 5 to 10 minutes of video shooting from the hip, clips from the day, whatever, and it's pretty quick. So I want that, because right now I'm getting antsy that I should be having more videos out.
Yeah.
And I think that'll fill in the gaps,
Yeah. Well, the good thing is that it sounds like you got some stuff already filmed and stuff, and
yeah, I've got a lot filmed for the main channel.
And really, this year, considering you had this big project, you really did put out a lot of content, video-wise, and everything.
Yeah, I want to get to a point where it's like a weekly thing, like looking at like some of the YouTubers that I like that are, a bit more established or more popular or whatever. They definitely have like, there'll be this video, I'll paint on Tuesday and Fridays will be comic book videos. They have like a schedule and they stick to. I mean, granted, a lot of them, that's kind of a big part of their job now, but I guess that was a long way for me of saying I want my main channel to be more consistent. So
Yeah.
after this book is finished, then I'll be able to do that, because, yeah, I've got, like, stuff I record in the summer.
Yeah.
Still.
So I think that's why it's good to do that, maybe to like do that blog, the blog channel or whatever you're calling it, because it just gets the videos like out. Because
Yeah.
I get that too sometimes, where I like want to make something so good, then I won't do it because it's like I'm waiting for this or that, or you know what I mean, or I'm trying to make a video of this like big painting, the project's getting stalled, I can't make it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And it's just nice to be able to just like sometimes I just gotta like just turn on the camera and just shoot whatever and then put that video out just to get it out, you know what I mean? Just to get anything out.
Yeah, totally. And I think with this vlog, I think there's going to be enough crossover there, because looking at my subscribers, there's a lot of people who were skateboarders or still are skateboarders, or were punks at one point or still are, so it's going to be smaller channel, I'm sure, but
Well, you never know. I mean, there's like a lot of the big YouTubers do that though. They get whatever their main channel is established, and then they have like the secondary blog channel where they throw everything else.
yeah.
And there's a ton of people like
Doodles for sure. She's got that.
Yeah.
I know she does that, and a few others, but and that's another thing too, is I've been trying to like approach next year like really like writing, I don't want to say business plans, but like writing like the year plan, 5-year plan, like my video with Will that came out a couple months ago, and I'm finding that if I look at that stuff, like what I want the end of the years to be with this, with Monkey Mod comics and stuff like that, it's like really, it fires me up,
Yeah.
And also to kind of have a plan, like a realistic plan, not just like, I'm going to be at San Diego this year. It's going to be, more realistic. Like, this year I'm going to look at conventions, because I don't know yet if I can go to one, but I would like to, even though I pretty kind of agree with Scott about I think the landscape is changing too, just from observing, since I haven't done a convention for a while. But so maybe this vlog is also like part of that planning for success, because maybe in a year or two my channel will get more popular, and then I'll have that vlog channel as the extra behind the scenes stuff or something, instead of waiting until I get popular and then being like, hey, here's another one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mostly I'm just doing it for fun.
Well, that's a good reason, though.
Yeah.
Well, I am anxious to see all this new stuff you're working on. So.
Yeah, I'm anxious to do both channels now. So. And get back to my comic.
Yeah.
More importantly. So. I don't know. Did I answer the question?
Yeah. So what about you, Jeff? How was 2015 for you? You're still doing it. You're still unemployed, as you put it.
There you go. So it can't be all bad, right?
No.
Yeah, I kind of think. Sorry, before you start,
Okay.
I kind of think you should stop thinking of yourself as unemployed.
I've told him that before, but
All right.
you won't listen to me.
That's my dream job, to be unemployed. So don't you guys step on my dreams.
It's all semantics. I say self-employed. If you want to say unemployed, that's fine.
Yeah, I know. I'm just joking. It's just a kick when you get to run into somebody and I tell them I'm like retired or something. It's just
No, that's better.
no, but let's see. I don't know. Like it's hard for me to like even like look at the year that way, because man, that's like I don't ever set goals. And maybe I should. You know, I don't know, but it's just like nothing like that I've ever done other than just like think I want to do like something and then I try to do it. But I never really, you know, at the beginning of the year go like, this is my resolution, you know. But maybe this year I'll try that, you know.
What about, I mean, one thing you started doing was the stop motion. Are you planning on continuing that? Is that something that you can work into some sort of a goal?
Well, see, I know I hated you to even ask that one because I think I kind of jumped into that maybe before I really thought about it. I mean, it
Yeah.
just like what I found, like I did it for like that month, and I kind of got behind on my bills like during that month, and
Yeah.
then I kind of stopped, got myself back right, and like now through the over this last week, I've been kind of thinking like, should I start it again and try to work it in, or it's just like I mean, I'm second guessing it honestly, and it's like I don't want to, but I'm just not sure I can like really honestly do it right now, with
Yeah,
just like the way I need to make money, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know that that's all bad because like what I've been thinking like lately is trying to like work in like projects that could fit into like what I'm already doing. You know what I mean? Because like I talked about like trying to like I wrote some short stories. I wanted to put them like on Amazon and do them like illustrated stories. And like those illustrations are something I could potentially sell. So it's kind of like maybe that would work into like my normal work days, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that might be like a project, you know. I mean, I guess that's I don't know, maybe that's why I don't make goals because a lot of times I'm not like hard and fast on exactly what I should do. And I kind of approach it as like I'm gonna do it, and if it works, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. But then if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna bail out, you know.
mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
But
mean
yeah,
that.
the stop motion thing's kind of on hold. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though, because like, I mean, kind of the reason I'm was being sort of vague.
yeah,
I mean, there's like, yeah, I'm gonna work on my comics and videos. Is like kind of what you're saying too. Like, I this idea of how I want things to be. With like not taking clients and all that stuff. But the reality is I might have to, you know,
uh,
or I might have to, I might not be able to like work on my comic every single day, that kind of
all
stuff.
right. Yeah, you kind of got to plan for that, like kind of like the failure maybe. If it doesn't work, what are you gonna do to make it, to keep going with what you're doing?
Yeah.
And
Um,
there's always going to be unforeseen things. Like that's what happened to me this year.
yeah,
But I'm still glad that even though I didn't accomplish all those goals, I'm still glad I set them. And then sometimes when things happen, like your identity gets stolen or you lose everything that you've been working on for the past, 6 months, then you have to, kind of rethink things and like figure, well, okay, what's important here, you know, reassess and do all that kind of stuff. So, but still, I mean, I'm glad that I kind of set some sort of a game plan. But then, you know, life happens and things happen, and sometimes you have to kind of readjust for that. But
yeah. I mean, I think like you guys were talking about your YouTube channel and like with what's happened with my YouTube channel. I mean, that was a goal of mine. Probably back before the year was to make my channel grow, and it's definitely happened, and I'm happy with the way it's happened. But it's
Mhm.
almost like the same kind of thing. It's like I feel like I'm always shooting in the dark, trying to figure out what works and what works for me. Like for
Yeah.
a while it was like all of us drawing all together all the time. You know what I mean? And then before that it was just like me by myself, and now it's me by myself again, but it's different again. And I don't know, I look back on that, but to me it's like it all worked for the time it worked, but then it also kind of taught me like what I wanted out of doing videos, because it is like about that too. It's like
Yeah.
you want it to be like you were saying, like fun. And I don't know, it's because you don't make that much money off your videos, or at least I don't.
No.
So there's got to be some other reason, driving you.
I
And
certainly don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just recently, it's like It's like I don't even watch regular TV shows anymore. I just watch people talking about marketing on YouTube all the time. Seems like, and probably got to stop that.
For
But
marketing, yeah.
yeah, this I can't remember what the name of this channel is. The guy's name is Tim Schmoyer. I don't know if you've watched this guy, but he has a lot of like marketing YouTube tip videos and stuff, and they're pretty good. And I think it was on his show. He was interviewing, a friend of his, YouTube. I don't know what they do on YouTube. This friend, but who's like, successful on YouTube and stuff. And they were talking about monetizing your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And this guy was saying like that he's never done it, and the guy Tim, the host, he's like, "What are you talking about? At least that's a little bit extra money." It's like, yeah, but it's pennies. It's literally fractions of pennies. He's like, if you're gonna make money from YouTube, you gotta like, be selling your book, or if you're an artist, the art, the prints, comics, whatever. He's like, that's where you make it. It's like, because otherwise you're just gonna look at your Google Analytics and get depressed.
I do think that's true. Actually, I think that's really true, and I go through that a lot, where it's like I focus so much on like YouTube, and then I stop. Like eventually I'll kind of just get tired of it, and I'll stop and think, and I'll be like, well, where am I really making the most money? And it's like, I'm making the most money by selling art, but I'm like putting so much focus into like building my channel and stuff. But I think it all kind of ties together. But yeah, I totally know what you mean though.
Yeah, because it gets, if you're making all your money from selling art, part of that, I'm gonna hazard to guess, is coming from people finding on YouTube.
I think so, yeah.
So it's like they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So in a way, I'm like, yeah, I can see, what that guy's saying is like, screw I can't even talk. Monetizing your stuff. Because your products or whatever is the money, but I also get what that other guy's saying is like, yeah, it's pennies, but when I got a check from Google for $111 a few months ago, it came at the right time, man. I'll tell you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't monetized my channel because I don't know that I have. I don't know that I have enough like viewers and stuff yet. But
well, see, that's the thing that I think that you got to stop thinking about, because like it took over a year and a half to get $111, but it was still $111. You know what I'm saying?
That's true, and it's just money that you really, you don't have to do anything to get it other than what you're already doing.
Yeah.
So I kind of see that, but then again I'm thinking, like the other guy, it's pennies. I see the benefit to marketing stuff on YouTube, like what he was saying, like eventually when I start doing this new show, I want to do like these mock commercials for like my own products and kind of make them somewhat entertaining.
Awesome.
Yeah,
like you go to commercial break, but it's really for something of mine, and it's all, it'll be, funny and everything. It'll be, what I'm artwork that you can watch me drawing it, and then you can see it's for sale or whatever or something like that. But so things like that I'm thinking about. What was that?
So that might be a better way to go. Anyway.
But there's no reason why you can't do both,
Yeah, I hate ads. I know other people hate ads.
But I think you still see ads, even though, like on my channel, I think you still see ads, even though I'm not making anything off of them.
Oh, really?
Or maybe that's not how that works. I guess I don't know how it works, so maybe I'm not. Maybe you don't.
Yeah, if you put up like copyrighted music and then YouTube takes over, then yeah, they monetize. But I don't think unless you turn on monetizing that there's ads, and I can't really remember if you have ads or not, but I don't think you do.
Okay, then maybe I don't.
Think
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you have to turn
answer
it
this.
on, though. It's just like, free money. It's like,
okay.
How come you don't like money, man?
Well, yeah, okay. Well, let me ask you this then.
Yeah.
So, because I'm trying to, my channel is, it's growing now, but it's still got a long way to go. How much of a turnoff? Maybe that's the reason why some of the people that watch my videos watch them, because I'm not hitting with ads and stuff.
It could be. I don't know. We couldn't even remember if you had ads or not on there.
Right.
So, almost everybody has ads on YouTube, like when you're clicking around.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I'm, I don't like them, but there's like the opt-out, so, just wait a couple seconds, for a lot of them, and You know, so and plus, I guess being that I do YouTube, I understand kind of the necessity or the reasoning for ads. You know, like, and then I just found out like if you like a YouTuber, which I've been doing, and you don't like the ad, before clicking, skip ad or whatever, watch 30 seconds, and then that's when they get paid. That's when they
Oh,
get their
really?
fraction of
Oh,
a penny.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I think
I
on like
didn't
some
know
of the
that.
shorter ones, like 15 seconds, I think you get whatever, like the full amount, because someone watched the whole thing. But um, yeah, I don't know. And so many people use ad blocker that probably half the people who are watching the videos don't even see the ads anyway.
Yeah, I had ad block. It wasn't even anything I added, but I downloaded like some. It was like a um, virus software, and it had it built in, I guess.
Hmm.
And then when I got rid of that, then I started getting ads. And at first I'm like, where are all these ads? Because I just didn't know, I mean, everything, I had always just not had the ads. But then I'm like,
Okay.
but I'm cool with it because, like you said, I do this so I know that's how YouTubers get paid. So I'm fine with those ads. As long as it keeps, and, also it keeps YouTube free and everything. And so,
Yeah. So I don't know.
Somebody in the chat, I was just got this question as it went by. It says, "Do you guys put a value on the time you put into making videos?"
Um, like a monetary value, not really. For me, like the value is I want like value for me making them, and then the viewers to get something out of it, like that kind of value.
to
That's what I
me,
think about when I make the videos, because I want to have a good time, and I want people to come back.
yeah, for me, I'm playing the long game, so I know it takes a while to get subscribers and everything, but I just think of I think of the time that I put into, my YouTube channels as an investment, and
Oh
that
yeah, totally.
eventually it'll pay off, and eventually I'll be able to build a following big enough that I can throw my work out there, and there'll be an audience for it. And
Yeah.
it's not like an overnight thing. And you ask anyone that has doing it, and some people get lucky and they become runaway or they go viral or whatever. But for most people, the successful people, it takes them a while for that to happen.
Yeah, it's
So
the
you just
long
have to be
con.
patient. Yeah,
Long con.
that's what I meant to say. The long con. What did I say?
The
No, you
long
said that.
game.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
long.
not as long. I mean, not that I'm trying to con people,
Yeah, no,
but
that's fine. Yeah, but it is exactly what you're saying. It is a long-term thing, you know. So that's why you have to be more. Um, what am I trying to say? That's why I think you have to do it more for the enjoyment of doing it at the moment, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
sure, think about how you want to make money, you know, if you want your career to be as an artist. Like, for example, there's YouTubers that I see that they talk about, their channels will be how to make money on YouTube. And that's what they do. They do YouTube. But for me, YouTube is like a fun extra for the comics I'm doing, you know? Um, and then hoping that that will help sell my art and comics down the road. But that's in the back of my mind, really. But,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
as far as the importance of it, I guess, I don't know.
Right. Because I know, because I do, I mean, I guess like when I would think about like why do you do YouTube, it's kind of like why do I stick my art anywhere on the net? It's because I'm trying to sell art. But then it's it's like more than that though. When you really
Yeah,
get down to it, because I don't need to do any of this stuff really. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
don't need to like, because it's hard making a living as an artist. I could just go get a job and have an easier time of it and go to bed at a decent hour. But it's just it is a lot of it. Just I think I don't know if it's fun or what, but it is kind of fun, I
well,
guess.
I mean, it's fun, and then I mean, sometimes there's videos that I'm like, God, this video's fucking driving me crazy. It's like because it's not coming out easy or something. But the fun doesn't just come from making the videos; it comes from like meeting new people. Because like I think all of us have got new friends out of this stuff. Maybe not friends in town, but they're like on the internet, but they're still friends now.
Yeah. I mean, I think us three, that's kind of how we met.
Yeah, and that's like super rewarding, you know. And it's like before I was doing YouTube, I was selling art on Twitter and Facebook, you
Yeah.
know, and it was doing pretty well. That was one of the things that got me into the idea of like not wanting clients anymore, because I was like, I don't need it. So, you know, YouTube is just like kind of background stuff. But, you know, anyway, I guess I'm trying to say is like, if anyone's interested in getting into YouTube, it is the long haul, and don't do it because you want to get rich, because you're not gonna.
Not off the videos, that's for sure. But I mean, you might. Who knows? There's people who do,
Yeah.
but
You might be the next Jen of Marbles.
billion chance.
Anyway.
I don't know where we were.
Well, we probably cut you off a little bit. We were just kind of trying to figure out how your year went and everything, and.
Well, I think I was talking about just the YouTube channel and the growth, and so I was happy with that. Of course, I wanted to, you know, stay unemployed or, you know, whatever, self-employed, however you want to say it, and manage that.
See, that's great, man.
Yeah, that is actually really great.
Yeah.
No, seriously. Sometimes I think about it, you know, like it dawns on me, hey, I haven't been to work in like a year and a half, so.
Yeah, a lot of people, like a lot of people are telling me I can't do it, you know, because like that's just not how it goes, you know. There's only like, you know, 10 people in the world that gets to happen to, and I'm like, yeah, but you don't have to be filthy rich for it to happen, you know.
Yeah.
Like my buddy Jeff has been doing it, you know.
No, that's right, and it's more than 10 people. When you really, you know, start looking around and just like being on YouTube, you know, people. There's so many people who like, you get emails and you meet them, and they're doing something similar. You know, they have it set up in a different way, but it's like the same kind of thing, and they're just like under the radar. People don't really know who they are or anything, but they have their niche, and they're making it work, selling whatever they sell or doing commissions or whatever. And it's not as rare as you think. So.
Yeah.
Well, you were talking about you weren't sure that you set goals, but I think you set like short-term goals. I mean, your goal is basically, I need to do this amount of artwork to get paid so I can make my bills, and you're able to do that, you know.
That's true.
So,
and that's like something that's just like an ever-changing thing that I just, you know, it's like I'm always trying to figure out the best way to do it, you know, like whether it's like big commissions or like more pieces on eBay or whatever. And so that's something that's like over the year, you know, even though like I've made big mistakes, it's also like every one of them's taught me something and made me a little bit smarter about it. And so that was good. I mean, I feel like I've had a good year. Sorry, you guys have bad years.
Well, I'm optimistic about next year, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Scott had 2 big whammies, and you know, I had that. My debit card number got snaked and hacked or whatever, and they cleared me out. And then this book, but you know, I mean, the YouTube channel's grown. I've gotten to meet more people through it, and so you know, like that, you know, thinking like that, it has been a good year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all bad for me. It's just different, you know. I mean, my year started off like great. I had this, you know, freelance project that I was just like making more money than I have in the past with like one particular job, and you know, and then all of a sudden they just decided they were going to abandon that project, and it went away. But you know, I put that money away. I was able to live on it, plus some other smaller. Freelance gigs for a good almost 6 months while I was, you know, looking for either more freelance work or eventually, you know, I looked for a permanent job, and I was able to get that, and it you know, it pays pretty good, and it looks like there's a future there that it's going to hopefully get better, but it's different, you know, because now it does take away from, you know, my own personal stuff, but I'm not really going to let that stop me. I'm still putting out videos, and you know, because I just, you know, I'm like a workaholic. So
Yeah, me too.
But so it's going to be a little different, but it's not all bad.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mean it like it was all bad.
No,
But it's
no, I'm
I
just
think a lot
clarifying
of
because I probably made it seem like that. But
right. Yeah. And I think too, like you were talking about cons, because I did go to the Denver con, and I'll go back this year, and I've thought about trying to go to more cons, but I think that just going to the Denver con makes me really realize that it's just like I'd rather just sell art on the internet if I can and not go to cons because they're just like
well, though?
they're hard. Yeah, I did okay, but it's like there's so much time and like you have to go somewhere and like talk to people and sit at the table for like 3 days, and it's just super stressful. You know what I mean? I'm not a guy who really likes that. You know?
Yeah. For me, like, I have a love-hate relationship with conventions.
Yeah.
But like, I want to do something public, as far as shows goes. But I think I think it's gonna have to be like a slow burn. Like this year is gonna be about trying to figure things out. I think, really. I've got my plan and my like map, quote unquote, for where I want to go with my career and stuff. But it's gonna be a lot of figuring stuff out. So, I don't know. Conventions might not happen this year, and then next year maybe I'll do one. It's gonna just have to, everything's got to be slow. In the past I've wanted instant gratification so much all the time, and I think I finally figured out that doesn't work for me. So just go slow and see what happens. And
I think it's a good idea to like test all that stuff before instead of just jumping in head first. I mean,
yeah, a couple years ago, I would have like already signed up for like 3 conventions on the West Coast, and then what would have happened probably is Monkey Mod wouldn't be ready yet, so I'd be like, oh, shit. So I'd be like, not working on that at all, and trying to make new prints or something, instead of working on what I should be,
Yeah.
So just this year, it's going to be figuring it out and trying to make some money, and
Well, I think, yeah,
going
that
slow.
has a lot to do with it too. Just like how do you want your business to be set up?
Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of part of it. Is like because I don't really like to travel anyway. You know what I mean? And so like conventions and stuff, it just seems like that's putting something that I don't like to do in there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's something you gotta definitely figure out. See, I do like to travel, so
Yeah.
that's kind of what I like. What I like about conventions the most is I like when people. I mean, this is like fucking every artist. I like when people are enthusiastic about my stuff. But
yeah, sure.
because some people come up and they try to make you feel like shit.
Oh man.
And
At a con?
yeah, I mean, I've had it, or like this one guy came up to me and he said that Monkey Mod looked like a derivative of the anime character Sixth on the Left, and I have no idea what he meant.
Jeez.
But I was like, I don't know what that means, but for some reason I think you're trying to take me down a peg, Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen often, but it has happened. But I had one guy. It turns out he was like special needs or something, and I didn't realize it at first. But he came up and he like laid his arm on one side of my table and like dumped half of my table onto the ground and ran.
Oh lordy.
Yeah. Then it turns out he got loose.
Yeah.
But but I love the after parties and talking to people who are interested in what I'm doing, and especially like you meet a lot of other artists and stuff like that.
That's true. That is one thing I do like about cons is hanging out with the other artists and stuff. But
yeah, and I like checking out new cities and stuff, but
yeah.
I can't afford travel right now, so let's just put that on my mind.
Anyway, like as far as me though, I guess like I figure my year went pretty good. There's the wrap up of the year. The YouTube channel grew and whatever. And like I think, for like the next year, if I have any kind of goal, what I want to try to do is make my business I still want to try to get like some of like my own work into like my money. You know what I mean? So like I have some kind of my own project that makes me money that I'm not doing on the side, that I'm not doing like after, you know, after the day's over or something. I somehow want to figure out how to work this in so that like when I get up and I do my work during the day, that I'm working on the thing that's making me money. And I'm not quite sure what that is or how it's going to work. But that's my goal, I guess, for next year. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, it sounds kind of what we're all saying. It sounds like what I was just saying, we're just
right.
kind of figuring things out, you know?
Yeah, because
Like
I love doing commissions and stuff, but it's like I want, you know, I still want to like have some kind of creative thing, you know? It's just like,
yeah,
you freaking guys drive me crazy because I get on here and all you guys do is bust on fan art, talk about like
I never bust on fan art.
You know, 100 Days of Comics and like, you know, all that crap. And I'm always over here on the other side of the fence, you know, selling like, crack to kids or something. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want to get in on that, like, you know, passion project that I have like a real love for, and you know, but I still, you know, I still got to make money. I still got to like figure out how to make money with it. So.
Well, maybe that's, you know, the stop motion. It's just you got to go slower at it. That's bottom line at this point, maybe, you know.
Well, it could be. I mean, I'm not writing it off permanently.
But
it's just so hard to think about, like, how in the heck you make even a dime doing that thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm not, you know, you're right. I mean, it's just, you know, like 2 nights ago I was actually working on some stuff, so it's like, it's not dead in the water, but I'm not really, like, pushing 100% like I was, so.
It'd be nice if you could get, like, you know, if you could demand more money for each of your paintings and sell more of your paintings that allow you to be able to do that stuff. And I don't know if there's some goal setting or if there's what you can do to make that happen sooner. You know, I don't know, because I mean, what you do is just beyond. I know there's no way I could even try to do what you do as far as selling my artwork on eBay and things like that. And so, I mean, I couldn't obviously offer any advice when it comes to that, but.
Well, it's just, I mean, I always feel like I'm up against that, you know, trying to get my art to go for more money.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I don't know how you get it to go for more. It seems to go up, but then it's also like, I don't know, it's just hard. I don't, you know, like you see other guys that have paintings up for like $1,000, and I don't sell art for that kind of money, so.
Yeah, that's something I've been thinking about a lot because I want to start painting again, you know, after this book is done, and that's, you know, it might end up just being that I'm just painting the Monkey Mod covers, but regardless, I want to get back into painting, and you know, I've been like going back and forth with myself, like I think that doing paintings is probably going to be how I survive to do Monkey Mod without clients, actually.
Yeah.
You know, so. But in order to survive, I think I have to do more paintings than I have time for if I'm going to devote a lot of time to Monkey Mod, right? So I'm like, you know, I don't know. I guess I'm just throwing this out there to see if you guys might maybe have.
Well, the one thing though that, you know, like, yeah, I kind of know what you mean, because you're like, you know, you think about like how much money you can make per painting, and you kind of add it up, and you're like, well, that's maybe enough, and then. You know, like, I'm always doing that, but, like, what I've found is, like, what actually happens is most paintings, you know, or maybe not even most, but, like, some paintings go for a lot more than you expect. So, like, those ones that go up higher than you think, or, like, the commissions that come along that are, like, that pay more than you think, they make up for the ones where you're not making quite as much. And then, like, as you paint, like, at least with me, you know, like, the passive income comes into play, which is like prints. You know what I mean? Like each time you do a piece, you know, you make a print, and then like that print sells. And if it only sells like a few or 10 or 20, that, you know, doubles the price, triples the price, and that's how you make it. You know what I mean? Because it's like just selling original art. Boy, that's hard. You know?
Yeah, you got to have something that's got like passive income kind of attached to it.
Right.
Is that kind of what you're saying?
I guess so, but not even to like, give you advice like this is the way to do it. But I'm just saying that like. With my own experience, it's just like what you expect. It actually works better, I think. Like once you get into it and you start to see like where else you can make money. I mean, it's almost like YouTube, like it's like YouTube's part of it, like the ad revenue. All these other things kind of play in,
Right.
and you make a little more. And then there's Patreon and all that kind of stuff too. And like once you start going full time on Monkey Mod, it's like you don't know what's going to happen with Patreon. You don't know what's going to happen maybe with a Kickstarter or something.
Yeah, it's true. And see, that's another thing I've been thinking about too. It's like on the other flip side of what I was kind of saying is like, okay, so if I'm doing paintings more than Monkey Mod to pay rent,
Yeah.
And that's also if it even works. That's everything's if in art. I guess. But then maybe Monkey Mod, maybe that becomes the big thing for me, which is what I want it to be, and then if I'm neglecting that, I'll just never know. I guess you just gotta take risk. But I don't know. This is all the stuff that's been going on in my head, I guess.
Yeah, but it's good to think about because you gotta have something to start with,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think. It's almost like one of those things where you make the game plan and then it's got to change with every step you take or something,
Yeah.
But that's a good thing because it opens opportunities that you couldn't see like when you started,
Right. It's like this, I guess being anal and like writing down like, like I did a video like things I need to change about myself to, be more successful, things like that.
Yeah.
It's like those are ideas, and they're written down. But if something works better, then I'm going to change those ideas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's just this year it feels like it's going to be a lot different, and I hope that doesn't jinx me that I said that.
Yeah.
It just feels like something's going to happen. It might be really bad, but like. Just feels like this year something big is going to happen. It's just like a change anyway. This is a big change year, I guess, for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm describing it right. I don't mean to sound all defeatist or anything.
Right.
And plus, I'm being nervous, so that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's spooky. I mean, it took me forever to freaking go for it again.
Yeah. How long do you think, like, when you started, like, because I remember, like, when you quit your job, I remember that, I don't remember exactly what you said or exactly, like, what day it was or the week or anything like that, but I do remember that time period where there was, like, a week where you weren't going to work, but you thought maybe you might.
Right.
How long, I don't remember if you said this, or you probably did, but I just don't remember. But how long did it take from like that point to where you felt comfortable that you are now gainfully self-employed?
Man, I don't. Well, I mean, honestly, at the end of that first week was.
Oh yeah. That's
I mean, I wasn't super confident, but it was like, because I do remember, like I came home and like that first day I made that video where I was just kind of like, I'm home and like in my mind I might have quit, but it was like I hadn't told anybody yet. I hadn't told my boss. I hadn't told my wife. And I just kind of set it up in my mind, because I had done sketch cards. I had been home painting before, so I kind of knew what you could make, selling art online. And I set myself like a goal. I was just like, well, if I can make as much money this week as I made, if I went to work, then then maybe it'll work. And so like in that first week I actually made more. I remember that first week I made like $600 off the art I just sold online just in that first week. And that kind of like boosted my confidence right there. And I was just like, I'm going for it now. You know what I mean? But I don't know, even if I wouldn't have made that $600, I might have still tried it. But because I pretty much decided I was quit. It was just a matter of telling my wife and stuff. That was the big one. I just didn't want to tell her that, it's going to get hard again,
Right. When I first started thinking about, all this, like, wanting to go, like, do what you're doing, but have Monkey Mod be a part of it, whatever,
yeah.
I've been doing these jobs, like kids' books and stuff, and then in between the jobs, I was doing pieces, pieces of art, and making more money, selling my own stuff on my own time,
Yeah.
and having actual time to spend with my family or friends, or whereas like for example, this job, I'm hoping I didn't like lose friendships because I just wasn't around, or
Mm-hmm.
I hope my wife still loves me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm just not around. And so I don't know. If I think about that, that makes me less nervous because somehow I made it work before and made more money than I was even making for like publishers that people know.
Yeah. That's the worst thing about it is thinking about it. You know what I mean? That's the hardest freaking part is like when you're, because I remember like before I quit, there was like a good section of a few months where I was actually selling some stuff, after work and working on commissions after work, and I was just like getting nowhere. You know what I mean? It'd
Hmm.
be like it'd take me like a week to do like some little old tiny commission for somebody,
Yeah.
and I just always felt like, man, I can sell more, I can sell more, I can make more money, but it was like when you sort of try to envision it, like because all you've got is like this little chunk of time, and you're like trying to envision it, like it's like with your 100 days of comics where you're like, 30 minutes a day to do this comic. It's hard to like think of like, okay, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and I'm not gonna have anything to do, and I could spend like the whole day on this freaking comic book page. You know what I mean? It's like how much faster, how much more stuff gets done when that happens, and also how much more stuff gets done when your back gets up against the wall and you got to start creatively thinking about how to bring in money.
Hmm.
I hate even thinking about that, but it's also like it really does. It does help you. You know what I mean? Because it makes you do all the stuff that you might not do when your back isn't up against the wall.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I
Well, I
want to
mean,
say to you, like, don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. But, I know that, people said that to me too. Like a few people, like I remember Jay said that to me. And I was kind of like, because Jay was kind of just hanging around my channel, in the very beginning. And
yeah,
most people were saying, like, no, you're crazy. Go back to work immediately. But
yeah,
there was
that's what
like,
people tell me.
almost like one guy was like, no, you'll be fine. But
Yeah,
it was hard for me to like listen to him and be like, yeah, he's right.
yeah. Well, I think like on one hand, like doing a job like this where it's that I'm doing is out of being maybe fear and hunger, right?
Right.
But it's someone else's, and so nothing. Trying to think of what I want to say. I mean, got it in my head. I just don't know the words. It's like when you're hungry and you're doing things on your own and on your own terms. That's when you get more creative. I think. I guess that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. You know what I mean? And I think maybe that's what you're kind of trying to say. If I'm
Hmm.
like reading you right, because like I mean I could go on and do jobs like I'm doing right now forever. you know.
Right.
Like there's stuff that's been lined up that I've turned down, and it's like, but no, it's like, so I think listening to you, it's just like, taking that risk is going to make me, or anybody else who's doing this kind of stuff, is, just figure things out and kind of innovate, I guess, a bit.
I hate to give like any kind of advice like that to anybody because I think everybody's got to make up their own mind. And I think there are
Yeah,
the kind of person who's like, I'm doing my comic. I've never sold one. I've never run a Kickstarter. I've never, you know what I mean,
yeah,
brought any money on, and I'm going to quit my job tomorrow and it's all going to work out. It's like, no, that's not going to work out tomorrow. Because
yeah,
if you can't already kind of know where the money's going to come from, forget it. But like,
yeah,
I think for like the people that maybe are on the fence and they feel like they can do it, then yeah, jump off the fence if that's what you want.
yeah. I do. I want it. Tired of that fence.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Well,
look at. Oh, go
I,
ahead.
well, I don't know. I was just gonna say like like the job you got, and we talk, offline and stuff. You know how I am, and I won't stick with the job that I don't like. You know what I mean? And you stuck in there like this whole year and like put up with all their bullshit and like kept going and stuck in there, and it's like commendable. You know what I mean? It's like something I wouldn't have done. So
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, Well, you know this. We talked about this.
Yeah.
There's times when I tried to get fired.
Right.
But nope. Not such luck.
Yeah.
I don't know. What were you gonna say, Scott?
I was just I was kind of looking at the chat. You mentioned Jay giving you some advice, and it's back there. But somebody had asked if Jay's going to be on the show, and I'd love to have Jay back on and talk. I haven't talked to Jay in a while. I haven't even really. Every once in a while, I see him post some stuff on Instagram, but I haven't really seen him on YouTube lately. So I don't know if he's ever listening to this or whatever. I'd love to talk to Jay again. So, and I also like. I think we talked about this a little more before, but get maybe some guest people on every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know about Jay ever coming back, but who knows?
Yeah. And what else? There's someone from Argentina asking about miscrits. And this isn't really a miscrit-centric show, but he said he doesn't really speak English, so I don't know if he's using a translator, and I can't. Like if you leave a comment on my channel, I can translate it and then I can get back to you in whatever language. But while we're doing the show, I can't really do that.
We can talk some miscrits if you want to.
Well, that's the thing. I don't really know what the exact questions are.
Oh,
okay. So I don't know what else. We got a few people in there. AC Brown says I should monetize. Going back here, but yeah, maybe that's about it.
Yeah, Scott, monetize.
Yeah, okay.
Easy peasy.
Oh yeah, H.C. Brown, I just saw this. It says, maybe I could make a book of the stop motion process and take photos of the process and characters and etc. And that's something I thought about for sure. But it's a long process, so.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like a build-up process, and I think it would work. I actually do, but I just don't know if it works for me right now. So.
Yeah. Well, if you do, I mean, regardless of like us being friends or not, you know, that's a book I'd be interested in picking up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see that myself, really. But...
Yeah.
Maybe that's just, that's saying what it should be, but I don't know. It's hard being an artist, you get so many different likes, and, it's different than just, I don't know what, exercising or something. I'm going to do 100 push-ups every day or something, or that's kind of easy compared to art, because art's like about, you do art because you like it. So you want to do art because you like it, and it's hard to fit, so it makes it harder than just going to work and punching a clock. It's like harder to do art than to just go to 7-Eleven.
Because it feels so much more important.
Yeah, and you put all that weight on everything, all your decisions,
Yeah, and it's not just like money. It's like it's everything about you. So, that,
yeah.
I don't know. It's like I've said things before, kind of half kidding to friends where, they might, I've got a lot of friends who aren't artists here and stuff, and, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm so envious, man. You just like, you go to work, you punch in, you play around on Facebook for a while, and you go home, you fuck around on the weekends. Like, I can't do that, And,
yeah.
and then I actually, like, take a look at what really goes on. I'd be so fucking bored doing what they're doing, Just like doing, I don't know. It sounds fun to go to the movies, but that's all
Yeah, I don't know. Working's a drag, though. You gotta deal with your coworkers.
I mean, the thing is, most of the people, have jobs where they're working so they can afford to do what they love on the side, where we might not be pulling in crazy money or whatever, or have steady paychecks, but we are doing what we love. So.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's so many people that, I love my friends, and so I'm not trying to talk shit on them or anything, but so many of them, like, they have these interests and they want to do, but I don't know if it's the artist mindset or if I'm just trying to make us sound more honorable than we are or something, but, like for example, got a friend who wants to write a book. His job is completely not somewhere you'd think a guy who wants to write a book is coming from. It's just some menial job, right? But instead, he gets like the new, I don't know what the new PlayStation 4 or something. Oh man, I just got Code of Honor and I played it all weekend. I'm like, you didn't write? You didn't write for even an hour? No. And then there's all these excuses about, oh, it's so hard. Who's going to want to read it? Like, well, you haven't even fucking done it.
Yeah.
And then after you do it, you're going to have to write probably like 4 drafts or something. And, if you really want to do this, then you go get a literary agent, Oh, man, then all of a sudden it's like too much work.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bum out.
It is. That happens to a lot of people, too.
So, yeah, no, so, like...
I mean, it kind of happens to me with, like, comics, It's like, because I've always wanted to do, like, comics, my own comic, and I just never have really been able to get it together and do it. But I think a lot of it is more than just, like, the time of just, like, sit down and draw it, because that really is the answer, right? Yeah. It is kind of like the 100 Days of Comics, I should take 8 hours a day and, like, work this next month, and I'd probably have it done by the end of the month. But it's like, like build it into such a big, freaking massive undertaking that has everything to do with, like, all my self-worth and everything else,
Yeah, totally, man.
that it just can't, I can't bring myself to do it because I can't bring myself to fail or something. I don't know.
No, I hear you. That's, like, exactly, like... kind of why I started doing 100 Days Making Comics was just that getting mad at myself, God damn it, because I'm like the same way,
Yeah.
I started working on, Monkey Mod started off as a mini comic, and then I started working on, like, for lack of a better term, like a proper comic book of it, but I had 3 false starts, and every time it was like, oh, this is too daunting,
Yeah.
And if I just, like, oh, this is too big, this is going to take me this long. If I just, like, worked on it a little bit,
Yeah.
something would be out. So, I don't know.
That's like such a great point, because back I did that one video where I went out to my dad's and I found all this old art that this guy wanted to buy for this old book, and I was like, showing it online and everything, and like one thing I didn't show on that same trip was I found this old sketchbook I had. There's a bunch of my old sketchbooks. I used to be like crazy sketch all the time guy,
Uh-huh.
And so in one of these sketchbooks, I just completely forgot this, but I had started this comic book, and I just was like basically drawing a panel or 2 panels like every day in the sketchbook, just like page after page. I don't even remember if I had like an idea of like where the story was going, and once I saw it, I kind of remembered it, but I didn't remember it. And there was like 10 pages in there. You know what I mean? Just like completely drawn. And then at some point, I just stopped. You know what I mean? And it kind of just like when I saw it, because this was like when I was, I don't know, maybe 23 or 4 or something. It's like, man, if I'd have just kept going, you know what I mean? Who knows where I could have got that thing? But it didn't happen just because I stopped working on it.
So, the my friend who was the co-host when we did the Big Illustration Party Time podcast.
Oh yeah.
Josh Kimball. When we were doing the podcast, I remember, and I haven't listened to I never listened to our own podcast, but and it's been years, so I don't remember exactly what he said, but I kind of remember the situation was something similar to what we're talking about, like not having time to kind of follow your own dreams and, this and that or whatever. And he had a lot of client work or something. Something was going on at the time, and he like won a Xeric grant or a Xeric Grant Award or whatever the hell it's called.
Oh, and,
wow. So obviously he like loves comics,
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I'm so just depressed. I can't work on comics. So what he started doing at that time was 1 panel a day.
Yeah.
Like what you're saying, and then he made a book out of it.
That's pretty amazing.
And he kind of like had a loose outline of where he was going. It wasn't like fully scripted, So he was just kind of like, I don't know, maybe thinking of it as like an exercise in a way, but
Yeah.
he got a book out of it.
Well, it's kind of like, it reminds me of like a lot of the webcomics guys you see, It's like back when, in the day, like before the internet, you'd see guys wanting to make comics and they show you their like 4 or 5 pages, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's all you'd ever see. But like nowadays with like webcomics, you go to somebody's site or something, or you go to Drunk Duck and you look around, and there's guys with like 400 pages of their comic, and it's like no good. They're not any good. They're like terrible at it. You can tell they're just writing and drawing with like no plan, and they're just going and going and going. But they still have like 300 pages. You know what I mean? They still have like a graphic novel of a book.
Right.
And I'm sure they're just like you're saying. They're just putting the next freaking panel up. Maybe that's the way to do it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think that's maybe the theme for this show is like figuring it out. You got to figure it out. Does that work for you or not?
Right.
I don't know.
That's our goal for next year. Me, you, and Scott, and the 13 people in the chat, we're all going to do one panel a day till the year's over. We'll publish our comics. No.
Yeah. So I don't have the chat open.
It looks like it may have died down. Oh no, wait, is it still going? The last thing I have is Samurai Ox saying, absolutely works, caution to the wind. What's he talking about? So yeah, it looks like the chat kind of died down a little, so I don't know.
All right.
Maybe that's what he was when we were talking about, just kind of jumping out.
Yeah.
Just going for it, caution to the wind kind of a thing.
I mean, that could be probably good advice for any part of this conversation.
I guess so. I hate to like give it though to anybody because there's going to be people who fail too. You don't want to like tell somebody, yeah, it'll all be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might not.
What I say to people, or what I want to say to people now in that case is like, it's risky, but if it's something you really want to do it.
Right.
You'll figure it out. If you're failing, you'll regroup and figure something else out or do something different.
Well, that's true too. Like when you fail, it's like you're gonna figure something out. So maybe that leads to the thing that you want to do, or you know what I mean, or that's gonna work.
Yeah.
So.
Because like I for sure, whether what I'm gonna try works or not, I at least need to see,
Mm-hmm.
At least need to try.
Well, most of the most successful people out there have tons of failures behind them, but they take a chance, and that's why, and eventually something works,
Yeah, and I feel like I'm like a professional at failing. So, so maybe this year's is my due. And if I was to be more superstitious, it's on the Chinese calendar, it's the year of the monkey coming up. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, monkey mind. That action right there.
The year of the monkey.
So. Anyway. I don't know what else we got.
I don't know. We're about an hour and a half into it. I mean, we could put a pin in this one if you guys want. Any other sage advice? What's that?
Said Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah. So, does everyone want to just take a minute once again to let everyone know where we can find each other online?
Sure.
Kevin?
Okay, I'm just going to have people go to youtube.com/KevinCrossArt, and all my links are in the descriptions for those. Like, my portfolio is whatever. Right now it's way behind because of this stupid job, but and then the new vlog channel is Middle Aged Punk. Just search for that. See it for sure me. Click it.
Okay. Jeff, you better hurry up because my dog's starting to whine. So we're gonna have to cut it short.
All right. I'm Jeff Lafferty. JeffLafferty.net's my website. I want to say one more thing. Everybody subscribe, or sign up for the mailing list because these shows rotate between all of our channels: Scott's channel, Kevin's channel, and my channel. So the best way to keep up with them is just sign up for the mailing list. I don't spam you. I just send you like a little, hey, the show's starting in 5 minutes kind of a thing right before the show starts every week. So, and the link for the mailing list is in the description underneath the video.
Okay. And I just put up my little lower third graphic, so that's where you can find me. Serkworks, pretty much anywhere on the internet where I'm at. If I'm not there, you won't find me. So thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone in the chat. And like I said, my dog's starting to go crazy. So we're gonna
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. Later.
Happy New Year.
Hold on.